Hello everyone, this is for the next part of section 13.1 for Algebra 2. Um, what you guys are needing to find are the missing parts of a right triangle. So, pardon my poor drawing of right triangles. I apologize. It's supposed to be a right angle. Remember from geometry class, angles are uppercase letters, sides are lowercase letters. This would be side B, this would be side A, and this would be side C. And what you do, whoops, because I may as well clear that since I messed it up already. What you're going to do is fill in the pieces you know, but the suggestion I have is you draw yourself a right triangle, fill in what you know. So angle B is 12. Let's see, side A is 4, so that means this is side B and this is side C. To get angle A, remember from geometry that these two angles have to add up to 90 degrees. So you have 90 minus 12 is 78 degrees. Now, you can choose side C or side B to find next. It makes no difference. I guess I'm just going to be not very creative and go alphabetical. You're going to use SOHCAHTOA words like opposite, adjacent, things like that, hypotenuse. Standing here on the angle that you're told, you want the opposite, you know the adjacent. Opposite and adjacent is tangent. So the tangent of 12 degrees is your opposite over your adjacent. Now this sets up what's called a proportion. And if you remember something like this, how you solve it is you cross multiply. So 3x is equal to 14, divide by 3, and x is worth 14/3. This is no different. You cross multiply. 1 times b is b, equals 4 times the tangent of 12. Okay, I'm going to try this again. I called the calculator up before and it crashed the software, so let's see what happens. So I need to type in 4 tangent 12. Oh, you need to check your mode. You only need to do this once. Make sure that you're in degrees. All right, if you're not, arrow down, go over, choose degrees, hit enter, and then you're in degrees. You only need to do this once. Later on, you may be typing in radians, but for now, for this homework assignment, that's what I mean. You only need to check this thing once. You don't have to check it for every problem. Then you type in 4 tangent 12. Helps if I type in the right numbers. 4 tangent 12. There we go. And you get about 0.85. So this is where it crashed before. We'll see if it crashes again. So B is about 0.85. Lo and behold, it worked that time. Okay. Now you have to find side C. So, standing here, I want the hypotenuse, I know the adjacent. Hypotenuse and adjacent is cosine. So, you have the cosine of 12 degrees is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, 4 over C. Same deal as before, cross multiply. C times the cosine of 12 degrees equals 4. I need to solve for C, so I'm going to divide by the cosine of 12. So 4 divided by cosine 12 is what I need to type in next. So 4 divided by cosine of 12, and you get about 4.09. So C is about 4.09. And that found all the missing pieces of your triangle. So let's try the next one. So again, I'd recommend that you draw yourself a triangle. It really doesn't matter the orientation. I'm just strongly suggesting that you label it so you don't mess things up. So that's 74 degrees. And side C, so this has to be the hypotenuse, side C, this is 20. To get angle B, once again, you're just going to take 90 minus 74 degrees, the angle that you're told. And let's see, if I count up, that's 6 gives me 80, so 16 degrees. B is 16 degrees. I would caution you about using any numbers you find, because if you made a mistake in getting 16, and you use 16, anything that comes after it's going to be wrong. So this is going to be side B, this is going to be side A. Again, I'm not being very creative, I'm just going to go alphabetical. I want side A, I know side C, that's opposite, hypotenuse, that's sine. Sine of 74 degrees is equal to your opposite over your hypotenuse. cross multiply, and you have 20 sine 74 degrees. That's a 4 equals A. So again, you go to your calculator, and you just go 20 sine 74, and you get about 19.23. So 19.23. So now I'm going to go for side B. Standing on this angle, this is my adjacent, and I know the hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. Cosine of 74 degrees is your adjacent over your hypotenuse. Cross multiply, and you got 20 cosine of 74 degrees. It's a 4 again. I don't know why it's closing. Didn't close it there, but it did there, it didn't there. It's like every other time I type a 4, write a 4. All right, is B. So we just go to your calculator and you type it in. So that would be 20 cosine of 74. Gives you about 5.51. And you've got all the missing pieces of information. Okay, and when I say show your work, this is the type of stuff I'm looking for. Okay, I'm not looking for just the answers. You guys need to show me how you're doing it. Right, here goes, next page. All right, draw yourself a right triangle. It really doesn't matter, again, the orientation, who's A and who's B, but once you do that, then it forces who's A and who's B for the sides. It's a 50 degrees. B is 18, so that's this side. B is 18, so this is little a and little c. So I need to find angle B. 90 minus, it's a 0, 90 minus 50 is 40 degrees. Okay, so I'm again going to find side A. Side A would be, let's see, standing here, that's opposite and adjacent. That's tangent. Tangent to 50 degrees. Yeesh, my zeros are awful today. Man, big circle. Okay. 50 degrees. Let's see, where was I? Tangents A over 15. A 15, 18. Good Lord. Okay, now cross multiply. So A is equal to 18 times the tangent of, I don't know why I was going to write 15. I have got the wrong number stuck in my head. So then you just go to your calculator and you type in 18 tangent 50. And you get 21.45. 21.45. Side B. Oops, it's not B, it's C. Side C. If I'm standing here, that's my hypotenuse, and I know the adjacent. So that's cosine. Cosine of 50 degrees is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Cross multiply, C times the cosine of 50 equals 18. I need to solve for C, so that means I have to divide out the cosine of 50. And then you just type this in your calculator. So that would be 18 divided by the cosine of 50. And you get 28. Round in there's hundredths, that's just going to be 28. So 28. Yep, there you go. Okay, so let's try the next one. Last one, I think it is. Draw yourself a right triangle. Label the corners. Fill in the information. 38 degrees. And so then A is 90 minus 38. So if I count up, that's going to be 40, so 52 degrees. All right. So then this is side B, this is side A, and side C is 7. Okay. So standing here, say I want side A. A would be adjacent. I know the hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. Cosine of 38 is your adjacent over your hypotenuse. So I have 7 cosine 38 is equal to A. So 7 cosine 38. 5.52. So then little b. Standing here, it's opposite and hypotenuse. So that's going to be sine of 38 degrees is your opposite over your hypotenuse. Cross multiply, 7 sine 38 is equal to b. So 7 sine 38. So 4.31. 4.31. Okay, the best advice I can give you guys, in kids that struggle in doing the trig, is that they refuse to write this down. They insist on jumping straight to this in their head. I'm telling you, this stuff is really going to start to knock you sideways. Trust me, write it down on the paper, let the paper do the work. If you follow this advice, it's going to be almost brainless. It's going to be very easy to do if you guys just heed this advice. Okay, why I drew that arrow, I don't know. I guess I had to do something while I was talking. Please, listen to what I'm saying. I've seen lots of kids do awesome on this, and I've seen many kids not do so well on it. The kids that don't do well are the kids that won't do this on the paper. They insist on doing it in their head. Sorry to sound like a broken record, but please, hit the easy button.